Today we are interviewing Tamisha Civil, who is running for Governor's Council for the 2nd District. There are 8 districts. 4 Democrats are vying for this position. There will be a primary on September 3rd to elect one of them to run against the Republican candidate on November 5th. The other three Democrats running in the primary are David Rezovitz, Sean Murphy, and Mariel Kramer. Welcome, Tamisha.
Thank you, Peter. Well, thank you for having me on your show. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
It's an honor to have you on my show. What does the Governor's Council do?
Thank you for that question. And you know what? That's one of the questions that I get all the time when I'm meeting people in the community to educate them on the Governor's Council seat, which is an open seat right now. The incumbent has been taking a position out in Framingham Court as a clerk magistrate. But the Governor's Council consists of 8 officials who, are elected from their respective district every 2 years. The council meets weekly to record advice and consent, warrants for the state treasury, pardons, commutation, and recording advice for consent to appoint judges, clerk magistrates, public administrators, members of the parole board, appellate tax boards, industrial accident boards, and industrial accident reviewing boards, notaries, and justice of the peace. That is a Governor's Council, but in a nutshell, we appoint judges to sit on the bench throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
What are your qualifications for the Governor's Council?
Well, my qualification is that I have a master's degree from Northeastern University in criminal justice and leadership. I have more than 10 years of state court working in the trial court of Massachusetts in the criminal justice system. And I've worked for the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office as a victim witness advocate in the major felony bureau, And I've also worked in various departments, such as juvenile court, mental health court, veterans court, juvenile court, if I said that already, and drug court. Those are the courts that I've worked in. I'm also a legal advocate for domestic violence homeless shelter. And currently, I work for the state as an associate probation officer. And what we do is we have offenders who commit crime, but instead of giving them a jail sentence, instead of the judge giving them the jail sentence, we put them in treatment programs or mental health programs and give them resources and access to get back into the community to be contributing members. And I've given my time and advocacy in working in the criminal justice system, but I've worked in all departments alongside judges, clerk magistrate, police officers, assistant district attorneys, defense attorneys, private attorneys who are representing people in all walks of life in our judicial system.
Why are you running for Governor's Council?
Well, I'm running for Governor's Council because of my personal and professional experience. As I stated, I have more than 10 years of working in the trial courts in Massachusetts, as well as Superior Court in the major felony unit in Boston. I'm working because the power to directly examine and combat injustices in our criminal justice system and our legal system. Um, and the council's most of the job in the council is vetting judges. I see their vetting judges and approving judicial nominations. And my duties will ensure that the criminal justice system is filled with qualified judges. Given the fact that I work with judges every day, I see their temperament, I communicate with them, and when they pass down a judgment or probation to people in the community, they are referred to me and other officers to make sure that they are complying with all the conditions that the judge have set before them. And personally, the other reason why I'm running is because I want to make sure that no matter what zip code or how much money you have and your economic status, that when you go into a courtroom, that you are treated fairly. And I was impacted. My family was impacted. Um, in the criminal justice system when my first cousin was incarcerated for 27 years for a crime he did not commit. And he was exonerated from all his charges in 2021. And I just want to make sure that no one has to go through that in our system in Massachusetts, especially in our district. I want to make sure that everyone is being heard and not being left out in our trial court or whatever court system that they get involved in.
What is the number one skill or experience you would bring to the governor's council?
Well, I would say the number one thing that I would bring to the council is our district. Um, heavily we vet judges to be nominated um, into our judicial system. One thing I want to do is to remind District 2, which is our district here, that it's a people's court and I'm advocating for them and making sure that we communicate exactly to them that who we're nominating, and they need to know their background. They need to know who they are and what they have done in the community. So what I would do, instead of personally asking questions, I would open up uh, to the district for them to provide me questions to ask them to make sure that they know the needs of the district and the people that they're looking to serve in that court system that they are going to be sitting in.
Do you know the current members of the governor's council? Have you worked with any of them previously?
I do know some of the governor's council. One person that I know very well is Bob Juvenville. Bob and I would work in the same court that I currently work at. His clients, depending on which clients that he has, when giving a judgment or a sentence, whatever client that he has that receives probation, one or two of those clients would be one of mine. So I would serve as far as explaining the probation process to his clients, and as well as making sure that I'm treating and providing all the resources and access to the individuals that I am going to have a client, but that is also his client, to make sure that both of them have a great experience when helping someone who is combating with substance abuse, to know that they are getting the resources and I'm communicating with them as to how this is going to work out. So I know the previous incumbent, which is Bob Juvenville. He is no longer sitting in that seat, which makes it open. But his clients, particularly, are the clients that I would get for probation, so that I can make sure that they are successful, not only in their community, but those who are seeking substance abuse resources and treatment program.
How would you like to influence or change the governor's council
Well, that's a great question, Peter. I would like to use how I would be a contributing governor's council to whatever we have. Influence is a strong word. I believe in change. I think I wouldn't change anything, but I would enhance how things are going, meaning I would bring more diversity into the council. I can tell you that there has never been a woman of color on the council. I can tell you that I would be a voice for women to advocate for women's rights, to make sure that judges are aware what's happening in the community and what's going on in the minds of the people in District 2. And one of the things that I want to make sure that is that I want to make sure that everyone in our district is being heard, and knowing the signs and being able to do research on the judges that are looking for nominations and provide that information to the district or the members of the community to let them know these are couple of people who are looking for nominations, and these are their backgrounds. It's something that we need to do because at the end of the day, like I said, it's the people's court. And when you're dealing with the judge, we want to make sure that the judge is qualified and we're not being influenced by who we should nominate as judges, but to make sure that that judge is qualified and understand the issues that are happening in our community.
Do you have any endorsements?
I do. I do have several endorsements coming from several different um, districts within our District 2, starting from school committee members to state representatives. And I was endorsed by SEIU NAGE Local 229, which is a union that I work with, and they have endorsed me. I have been endorsed by Indivisible Canton. I've been endorsed by Canton Sustainable Equitable Future. Uh, I've been endorsed by State Representative Russell Holmes in the 6th Suffolk District. And the one that I'm mostly proud of is I've been endorsed by Ed Dolan, the former commissioner of Massachusetts Probation Service. He overseen the probation department and how it runs in different trial courts in Massachusetts, including District 2. And he has seen the quality of work that I've done and my advocacy for the community. And he endorsed me because he believes that I will bring a diverse perspective in the attention that the community needs to make sure that we provide um, judges that will do the work for the people.
What are your favorite activities outside of work?
Thank you for asking me that. Well, I'm a mom of a 12-year-old boy. I love spending time with my son, taking him to baseball, basketball games, and practices. I'm also a community service advocate. I love providing my time. I love bringing food to well, I collaborate as a community member with the YMCA in Stoughton, where I bring in food for the pantry to give to children who don't have food to go to at home. I love advocating for women's rights. I'm a commissioner for the Eastern region of the status of women, where we take policies and bring it to the legislators to have them bring it in front of the state house so it could be voted on policies. I am a dance ministry instructor. I teach young women how to dance in the ministry that they're in. And most importantly, I love to advocate for everyone, regardless where you're from, whatever issues that is going to. I love to advocate and make sure that everyone is being heard. And wherever I can help, I love to serve the community. And also, I love to sing and I have something in common with you too. I love karaoke. But Peter, you and I have something that's in common. I have a radio show called Voice of Reason Boston, where I invite leaders from the community. It could be politician, organizational leaders, or organizations that come in on the show that talks about the resource and access that they provide for people in the community. And it's catered to the greater Boston area, but anyone can come on the show and talk about what they do. And it's heard every Saturday at 11 a.m. on WEZE 590 AM.
Cool. Can you summarize why you should be elected to the governor's council?
Absolutely. I should be the next governor's council because I bring a plethora of experiences within the judicial system, working from judges, working it with police officers, working with a probation officer, as well as being one myself, working with clerk magistrates, defense attorneys, and juvenile judges and clerk magistrates. I've worked with everyone in the trial court of Massachusetts, victim witness advocates, assistant district attorney's office. I have experience not only professionally, but I have experience in personal experience that brings me closer to people in the district and people who are combating mental health, who are combating substance abuse, who are combating, you know, mental health when it comes to veterans court, referring them to the proper court so that they can get the help that they need. And I stand before you because I understand what are the needs of the community, and that regardless of whoever you are, your sexual orientation, regardless of where you're from, your zip code, your financial your tax bracket, everyone deserves the respect. Everyone deserves to be heard, and everyone deserves to know when they go into a judge, when they stand before a judge. It could be for a simple driving ticket, that you are being heard and that the judge is listening and understanding what you are saying, and that you are being fairly uh, and justice is being fairly given to you, and that everyone should be treated the same regardless of who you are. And with my experience and helping as a profession people back into the community, providing treatment, providing substance programs, and meeting with organizations that provide resources to individuals to be better members in the community is what we need. We need judges who are going to put people in treatment program instead of incarcerating them. We need judges to understand the issues that the women are going through, especially when it comes to domestic violence, when women are going to seek for a restraining order, that the judge hears them the first time and that the judge gives them the order for protection, and being able to help them to understand what a harassment order is and how someone should get it. And I cannot forget my seniors. One of the things when I worked as a Suffolk County, at the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office as a victim witness advocate in the major felony unit, we have a lot of seniors that have been exploited financially by power of attorneys, family members, organizations, nursing facilities, senior centers. We want to make sure that we protect our seniors in a way that they will not be exploited, and also educating the community of what their rights are, what victim rights are. So I'm asking District 2 and your community to vote for me September 3rd, for September 3rd Democratic primary, because I am the next governor's council that can do the job for them, and that they can count on me getting judges to be nominated that has integrity, that understand what mental health is, that understand what senior exploitation is, what they understand women's rights, they understand what domestic violence is, they understand mental health, substance abuse, juvenile court. And let's just understand that judges listen all types of cases. We're just talking about my professional experience and personal experience, that we should not let anyone behind in our legal system, and that we need to help women and men, and we need to make sure that everyone is being fair and being treated and being heard. And if anyone would like to know more about me and what I do in the community, definitely visit my website, www.tamishacivil.com. And we are running a grassroots campaign. If you would like to donate, we welcome any donation of any amount to help continue to spread the word for Governor's Council, September 3rd, Democratic primary. And I thank you, Peter, for your time and giving me an opportunity to speak to your audience.
Would you like me to come on your radio show and help you with your campaign, or?
Peter, I would love any assistance that you would like to provide. And I just want to thank you for giving me the platform on your show. You're doing a wonderful job. I'm very intrigued and impressed about everything that you're doing in your community. You are an asset to your community. And I would just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to speak to your audience.
We wish to thank Tamisha for appearing on this episode of Special Times and congratulate her for her passion and hard work in seeking to serve on the Governor's Council. We wish her all the best in her campaign. Remember to vote in the primary on September 3rd.